This is Russ. I'm back in the car again, and it's 40 degrees outside. You seem to not be able to catch a break. Yeah, it's just cold out there again. You hear the heater kicking in here. So anyway, I'm headed to the other Costco. I gotta get my daily pizza. And so before this trip to Costco, I was watching the statistics on my YouTube channel for this channel, the More from Russ channel. And it seems again as reviews of restaurants come out, more people seem to want to watch it. That's very interesting. Can't do it all the time though. Yeah, I also jumped on the scale to see if I gained any weight this week because, as you might know, I went to a couple of places in addition to my standard food regimen. Yeah, gained an extra 3 pounds. Not good. I was 10 pounds up, gained 2 pounds, remember? Gained 3 more pounds from all this stuff, so I'm up 15 pounds. So that goes to tell you that, we can't be doing these restaurant reviews all the time. There's no way. Now, it could be a temporary gain, of course. I'll check it again in a couple of days. My guess is it is a temporary thing, because you still got a lot of food in you, and you're eating more stuff than you should. But I think it'll probably drop back down to the 12-pound gain. It better. If not, we've got some major dieting to do. Well, we still got some major dieting to do anyway, but still. Yeah, can't do it all the time. But here's my comments on the Hibachi Grill Buffet review. Yeah, some people noted, too, that the plastic fork was kind of strange. I thought that was very, very strange, that they would have, metal knives and metal spoons, but no metal forks. What is the deal with that? I don't understand the deal with that. Were people stealing their forks or something, and they refused to put them out there? I mean, I guess if they had things like crab legs and lobsters and whatever, people tend to use their forks to kind of get those things out, and they just kind of bend the forks until they demolish the forks. Maybe they used to have that, and maybe they don't do it anymore for forks because of that. But the problem is that they don't have those things available now. Maybe they do it in the dinner hours. I don't know. I don't know whether they do a different dinner hour menu compared to the lunchtime menu. Most restaurants do have dinner options. Maybe they do, in which case then the forks are being demolished and they don't want to use it. Yeah, because people use the forks to pry into like the shells and everything. Yeah, they bend them up really bad because these places don't have the most expensive silverware. It's cheaper silverware. It's kind of thin and lightweight, right? Maybe that's why. I don't know. But the way I look at it is this: if during lunch hour you don't offer those things, then you should bring out the metal forks. I mean, you got everything else that's metal. Why is the forks not metal? I don't get it. So, but people were commenting that this seemed like it was a better buffet. Yeah, I mean, it's not that much better in the sense of, the food being offered is not that much better. I mean, both places, the food didn't taste that bad. I'm not saying, that the other Chinese buffet was bad tasting or anything. I'm just saying that for that first Chinese buffet, they needed to do a little better on the other things, put some music in the background, replenish the stuff that's gone, Now, other people have said that, you did go later in the day for the other Chinese buffet, but it wasn't that much later. I showed up at about 1:15 to 1:30. I'm guessing closer to 1:15-ish, though. So I wouldn't really think that should be the point where you say, okay, I'm not going to put any more stuff out, because if people are still coming in and they've paid, I'm going to move over here, too many cars trying to merge in at the same time. If they've paid their money to come in for lunch and you don't replenish it, then you're not giving those people the fair shake. Yeah. So now some restaurants do this. Okay, Royal Buffet does this. They close at 3 p.m. So what they do is they open for lunch, they close at 3 p.m. and reopen again, I think at like 5. Now they do this specifically so that you can't pay for lunch and hang around till dinner, because it is a higher price during dinner hour, right? I think they're currently like $23.95 plus tax plus tip for lunch. I don't know what the dinner price is. Dinner's higher, so it's probably over $30-something. You have to check their website, Royal Buffet in Hoffman Estates, Illinois. You can look it up yourself. So now these guys, the first Chinese buffet place, I don't know if they have a dinner hour thing too, and if they add more food or not. Some of these buffet places, the cheaper buffet places, may not do anything different for dinner as they do for lunch, in which case they just charge you more because it's dinner. I never understood that. I don't really like that. I mean, there's another story. If you increase the food offerings or better quality food offerings during dinner and you charge more for that, that's one thing. But if you keep it exactly the same as lunch, but they just raise the price because it's dinner hour, that I don't like. And if you give me an option between a lunch and a dinner, I would usually take the lunch, because you can't eat that much more during dinner to warrant some of the prices some places charge for dinner. So, so I guess in general, a buffet place has more foods than you really should eat, and of course my additional weight gain has proven that. So really, how much more are you really getting if you go for dinner, unless you're just going for quality, right? So you have to give higher quality food to charge a higher price for dinner, for me. Otherwise, I'm not coming for your dinner. I'm coming for your lunch, and that's it. Now, other things people mentioned too were, who goes there for salad? Yeah, it's true. For me, I don't go to buffet places for salad, unless it's specifically a buffet place for salad. Okay. They used to have in our area a place called Sweet Tomatoes, which was a division of Soup Plantation, which is out in California area. They used to have a soup plantation and a soup exchange out in California. When we lived in San Diego, we would go there all the time. And Sweet Tomatoes is a part of Soup Plantation. They still have soup plantations, I believe, out in California. But they seem to have closed up all the Sweet Tomatoes in our area. I don't know if they still have any more Sweet Tomatoes anywhere else. But we used to like going there. It was actually one of my favorite restaurants to go to, because Sweet Tomatoes, you'd fill up with a whole bunch of salad stuff. And I don't mind doing salads if I'm going knowing that it's a salad place. I don't mind it at all. But they'd also have soup in there, different soups that you can get. And they'd have fresh bread in there. They'd have fresh pasta stuff too. So it wasn't just salads, but I would get a full plate full of salad. And then when Soup Plantation, when Sweet Tomatoes closed up, I started going to Jason's Deli, which is, it's a deli place, but they also had a buffet of salad, and their salad wasn't so bad. I mean, Sweet Tomatoes was still better, but since you couldn't have that, we'd go to Jason's Deli, and then they closed that up too. So now the only salad place around here, I think, is called Sweet Greens or something like that. Something Greens. Is it Sweet Greens? I don't know. That place is a salad only place, but it's not an all you can eat salad place. So you buy, pre-made salad. We also go sometimes to, I've never gone there, but it's an expensive salad place. There's also McAllister's, which is a McAllister's Deli, I guess it's called. But McAllister's is a chain. They have several locations here, and they do salads there too. But again, it's not an all-you-can-eat thing. You just buy your salad. But they have some decent salads there. We go there sometimes. But it was mentioned that, do people go there for salad? No, I don't think so. If I'm going to a buffet, I'm going for the meat because I'm a meat eater. So you won't see me filling up with things like bread. If there's pasta, I try not to take that. I'm definitely not taking rice stuff now because of the diabetes. Anything that's carb, I try to avoid anyways at this point. But those to me are called fillers. To try to fill you up with stuff that's inexpensive and it's kind of heavy. And then the expensive stuff, which is the meat, typically you won't take as much because you just can't eat as much. So I don't eat that kind of stuff. I try my best to just do the meat. So I'm looking for a variety of meat. But the problem with these Chinese buffets now, and I mentioned it in the reviews, it's mostly chicken. So unless you like chicken, that's really all you're going to get. There's very little steak type things. Some of them will do like broccoli and beef, but there's not going to be a lot of beef type things there. Some buffet places will have seafood, which I like a lot, but these don't have that. Now, if you go to Royal Buffet, there's a lot of seafood. Okay, so you can get seafood there, but you're paying at least, I think during lunch hour, I think it's like $23.95. But they don't have, lots of crab legs and all that kind of stuff, and you have to kind of look for them, sometimes when they do have it. They probably have it during their dinner hour, but again, that's a higher price. But look at it this way. These buffets, if you compare them to Vegas buffets, first off, the Vegas buffets have a lot more offerings than something like this, okay? There's a lot of different options for you to get and stuff. And some of them, will have, at least they'll have like snow crab legs, but king crab legs is another story. That'll cost you a lot of money. King crab is pretty expensive at this point. But if you compare it against the Vegas buffet, these are dirt cheap buffets, right? I mean, we're talking, what was the first Chinese place? Was it like $12.50? I don't know. I don't remember exactly what it was. Around that price. And then this Hibachi grill was it $13.50 plus drink. The drink wasn't that expensive. It was like $12.19 or something like that. So really, if you skipped the drink, okay, then the difference between the two buffets is only probably about 50 cents, 75 cents, something like that. But the other place did give you the soda versus the Hibachi grill. If you added the soda, then it's more, right? It's 50 cents difference plus the $2.19 for the soda. So in general, the Hibachi grill is more expensive than the other place, right? But I can skip a soda. That's not gonna bother me so much. I don't go there for the drink. I go there for the meat. So I look at it as it's only a 50 cents difference. I mean, I'm not gonna go to the other place. I'm gonna go to the Hibachi grill if I have the option, right? So I sent a text message to Fishing Jim. I got a bunch of Jims, remember? Got a lot of friends who are named Jim. So I sent it to Fishing Jim and my friend Gail, who goes fishing with us. I said, we could do this place after fishing one day, because Bussy Woods isn't that far, really, from that location, and we go fishing at Bussy Woods. And where's Bussy Woods? Bussy Woods is still considered Elk Grove Village, I believe. Yeah, I don't think it's actually Chambray. I think it's actually Elk Grove Village. So, I mean, it's really close. So we could do that after we go fishing or something. I think I've been there before with Fishing Jim. And Fishing Jim told me that he's been there multiple times, too, with his wife, for other events that he's had with other friends. So he's familiar with the place. And I think we've done it together once, too. Gail says she hasn't been there before, but she'd like to try it. So... Yeah, it's an okay place. It's not the best, but we don't have a lot of options anymore. There's not a whole lot of Chinese buffets left. So, anyways, that's my comments on the post comments on the reviews. So yeah, we won't do that often anymore. I just can't. I mean, if it's gonna gain me weight and everything like that, plus, you know, it's probably spiking my blood sugars. I did check my blood sugar the next day. I just should have probably checked it, you know, 2 hours later. But anything you eat 2 hours later, things gonna spike. So I checked it at my normal days of checking, and the blood sugar, you know, I usually am about 104 on a daily basis. I think it was at like 114, no, 111. Sorry, 111. So it went up a little bit, but it's not, you know, it's not that bad, right? Considering how much stuff that you eat and everything, and there's sugary things in there and carbs and all that stuff too. So, yeah, I do feel that my diabetes is pretty much under control, but not perfect, right? Perfect, I would be under 99 on a daily basis, but it's well within reason. I mean, I know people whose daily blood sugar things are close to the 200 level, right? So you can't say mine is that bad. I mean, it's still not great, but it's not that bad. I think maybe when my A1C was way up there, it probably would be that high, because I think the highest I ever measured when I was actually started doing measurements was like 189. And that was way back when I just first started finding out I had diabetes. So anyway, we're here at Costco. I'm gonna go in and get my Costco pizza. I just wanted to at least make some comments on that review, because it's always interesting to see what people have to say. And then sometimes I think about things and I said, oh yeah, I should have said some additional things. So there you go. Anyways, if you like this video, go ahead and hit the like button, hit the subscribe button if you haven't already done so. I'll talk to you guys next time.